Yeah.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. That's
Very
money.
nice.
That's just,
You've gotten better over the last
that's a
couple
swish.
weeks.
That's a
Yep.
swish right there.
From half court.
Oh, love it. Week 4, after a hiatus with the illustrious Nat Levy back from paternity leave. How you feeling? How's the B-Bay? How's everything going?
It's going. Getting screamed at for multiple hours of night is entertaining.
No fun.
So that's cool. I can explain to you why you see one of everyone's favorite players, Tracy Mcgrady, in the background here for me.
Certainly a favorite of the fans.
My second favorite player of all time, behind Hakeem Olajuwon, and his nickname is often the Big Sleep because he had a reputation for falling asleep everywhere.
Did not know this.
Yes, yeah, he could like fall asleep at a moment's notice everywhere. Mikey
Brilliant.
can update this, and I have taken to calling myself Big Sleepy, because all I want to do is sleep, but I can't.
I see.
It's very annoying. So I end up looking at my fantasy team too much and grumbling about why it's not better.
So moral story, for your birthday, I should get you a Big Sleepy on the back T-Mac jersey.
Yes.
And all right, we might make this happen. Good to know. That's very good. I have a dunce cap boy in my background because my team is so horrifically bad. It's all I deserve.
If you lose like 4 more games in a row, you just change your team name to Dunce Cap Boy.
Yes. I commit to you and our millions of fans right now. If I lose another 4 weeks, I am absolutely changing my team name.
So that would have to be what, 0-7?
0-7. I would go from winning the league to an 0-7 start. That's all I deserve. Dunce Cap Boy it is. Totally.
Dunce Cap Boy.
100%
Dunce Cap Boys with a Z at the end.
Dunce Cap. No, that's too funny. That's funny again. There's no shame.
That's true.
I need to be fully shamed.
That does actually sound like it could be like a rap group.
Yes, Dunce Cap Boys would like battle with what's the old classic Seattle group? Blue
Blue Scholar.
Blue Scholars. Yes, the Dunce Cap Boys would totally battle the Blue Scholars.
And and then they could do cool dunce caps. Like, it's a whole thing. There's the marketing opportunity.
They could like breakdance spin on like a dunce cap. This writes itself. Like, yep. We could get 10 seasons. We could get 10 episodes from Netflix easy on this.
Cut the check. CTC.
Oh man, loving it. We're coming in hot. I'm loving everything. So on that, it's been season's been wacky, I think is the fairest thing to say. On a number of fronts. We have a number of things to dive into in that regard. First here is the league table. Amy, one ball net, and also draft pick stealer extraordinaire is leading the league with a very strong team. I believe we definitely identified her team being strong. Kawhi River definitely improving from last season.
I'm very much smarting from that one this week. I was the whole week. I had 5 extra games, and then like my team just died, and he got a triple double, and then went like 22 for 22 from the line on the final day to win free throw percentage to clinch a tie.
Ooh, oh man, and that's another close to undefeated. And then arch nemesis of the show, Joe in 3. Joe winning the roto by a good margin too.
Had a huge week.
Yeah, he's got a good team. We'll talk about a number of things. He has the number 8 through number 12 ranked players right now on his team.
That will do it.
That'll do it real well. I would just also like to point showing up the roto. I'm in last by a long way. This number, okay, so just as a reminder, again to the fans at home, I take an aggregate rank to decide the roto. So we have a 12 category league. The bottom would be 120. 120 would be if you were last in every category. 92 is a number I have not seen in this calculator for the entirety I have been maintaining this roto. This is the worst number I have ever seen. Wow. And I am the proud owner of that number. It's going well.
Man, you even have the most ejections.
Yep, I had 2. Yep.
That's impressive.
It's all going wrong.
So you sold your soul for a title, is what
It's all going wrong.
But you're number 1 in turnovers, just like you wished.
Just look at that. 99. The closest person is 161.
You also get like 1 assist per game as a team. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's not the best. As my analysis last year did show, they are inverse linearly proportioned. So I think that is holding again. Yes, pretty tightly. So the top assist team is, let's go look because this is a fun thing, is Poop Madness at 516, and he is the last turnover team. So yes, my direct relationship
100. I mean, if you have the ball in your hand all the time, you're going to turn it over a lot. It's just by default. I have a good. I guess I'm not too bad in turnovers. I was going to say I thought I was really bad in both turnovers and assists, but I'm just bad at assists.
You're 4th. Yeah, so you're actually basically. You're a little worse at assists than your turnovers would it should indicate.
Yeah, my strategy was like I was trying to get myself, like the way I tried to draft it and do it was I wanted to get myself in like the upper half in basically every category. That's what I wanted, so I could beat anyone any week. But what I managed to do is just be slightly below average in every category, so I could lose to anyone any week. So
that is the fine line.
Off to a great start here. Yeah. No, I was thinking about, I was like, I like the team. There's good players. Like, I'm glad my Curry pick up high worked well, but otherwise it's just kind of mid, kind of average.
I would like to take some credit because I believe I convinced you, or at least goaded you into that Curry pick, and I feel vindicated for it. At your draft position.
he was my like leader in the clubhouse, but you definitely confirmed my hunch.
That's good.
In that way. Like I wanted a guard for some reason. I don't know. He's just really good at basketball.
He is extraordinarily
good. As much as I haven't liked the Warriors in the past, I kind of find myself like this weird old man, like rinky dink Warriors team that's just like running everybody off the floor is actually kind of enjoyable because they're not like so overwhelming in talent. They're just trying harder than everybody else. And that's kind of fun to watch.
I feel like that is a great encapsulation of like a couple of things in the real NBA this season. There are just a lot of spunky, fun teams that are just trying real damn hard right now and doing really well. Like Hornets, the Magic, for the friggin' Magic. All right, hold on. Let's just break down into our Magic segment because we have.
Yeah, might as well. Let's hop in.
We have to talk about this. The Orlando Magic, legitimately fun to watch. Michael is losing his mind right now at the enjoyment of the Orlando Magic. But let's just highlight some fantasy impact here of the Orlando Magic. First of all, Mo Bamba, contract year Bamba, selecting Mo Bamba.
Got the right
Bamba
name.
is having a contract year, currently up in 18th from 100 rank.
What round did he select Mr. Bamba?
I believe he took him higher than he should have, but that's because,
he got taken at all.
Yeah, he was going to go undrafted, which is actually, in retrospect, we all look pretty dumb right now because he's
there. You go. He's in
the 10th round.
Yeah,
went the 10th round.
Top of the right before before Norm, Mitch Robb, my injury Clay pick.
That 10th round is Mo Bamba.
There's some good players in there though, because Garland has been good.
This is also when like folks started drafting some stretch options like for the injuries, so Mo is 18th. Now let me just read off three other players on the real life Orlando Magic who going into the season. Let me just tell me where you think they would be. So Cole Anthony, relevant fantasy player or not going into the season?
Going into the season?
Yes.
Guy I would not draft, but guy I would watch on waiver wire.
Good. So I
know where he is because he gets like 1,000 rebounds. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. He was pre-draft 196, almost unranked. He's sitting at 28 right now.
Wendell Carter, damn rebounds.
And he's scoring like 25, 30 a game. Like he is their offensive option right now. He's actually playing like lights out. Wendell Carter Jr. He did get drafted. He got drafted. Basically a replacement big level draft for us. I think.
No, he's up higher than that. He's round 8.
Oh, he went 8. So he went 8 round. All right. So our league, he got some credit. Preseason he was 100. He's at 27.
Yeah.
And then the best one, Franz Wagner.
Wagner. Yep.
Didn't he? I personally didn't even know he was in the league.
He was the 7th pick in the draft.
I don't watch basketball.
8th pick in the draft. Somewhere in there. He was the top 10 pick.
All right. Well, there you go. So he's in the rookie category, which we'll expand in a second.
I mean, nobody thought he was going to be this good this quickly.
No, he's in it.
He would have been drafted higher.
Sitting at 58 in the fantasy rank. And so the sum total, I don't even include Wagner, but I'll do it the math in my head.
Wagner.
Those three. Is it Wagner?
Yeah,
Wagner. Those 3 Magic players were pre-draft ranked 395 total. They're currently sitting at 73. If you add Wagner, that goes up to like something over 800 and 100. Like it is an enormous overperformance.
It's been a weird start to the year for sure.
And our illustrious friend of the show, Michael, taking full advantage with 3 out of 4 of those guys as a true Magic fan. So I do appreciate that
he's still winless anyway.
No, he's got a.
He
is winless.
So he's just like the Orlando Magic, right? He's promising young players, but it results in big stats, but maybe not a lot of W's. Sorry, Michael.
Well, I'm sure we'll get some fan mail on that comment. The other fun thing, I do like Yahoo does this MVP page in their what is this in the research section? It's basically like percent of teams, like top teams in the public leagues. With guys, Mo Bamba 3rd, so that's a good one.
Good lord.
Harrison Barnes up there.
John Collins, interesting.
Collins is up there. Yeah, you have some representation here. But so the folks, oddly, one ball all net, not actually represented here until farther down. So that
makes sense to me though, because I mean, there's Bridges right there, who's the MVP of the season. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh yeah,
and. She did a good job of like picking people in the right spot. So like these are all overperformers.
That's true.
As opposed to like, I mean, like there's Randall in there, like, but you know, she picks the players in the places where you should pick those players, but a lot of those players have hit.
Yes.
In the way that you would want them to, or marginally better than you would expect. Like, you know, she doesn't have, like, other than Bridges, like, she doesn't have Cole Anthony or any of these dumb, crazy guys who have gone off for no reason in particular.
Yeah, she definitely drafted well. Like, yeah. And that mid-round right here, like the Randall, Nurkic, Ball, DeRozan, all doing well.
All those have hit.
And this, as you have said, the absolute home run pick of the draft by an absolute ton. Miles Bridges in the 12th round, who is just annihilating everybody. I think he's sitting at
annihilating, and he's about to be annihilating the Hornets salary cap because he is also in a contract year.
Oh, I did not realize.
He's in an extension, not a contract year, because he's a rookie. Or not a rookie, he's a young guy. So he's in an extension year. They did not extend him prior to this season, and they just cost themselves boatloads of money. I don't know if it's because he bet on himself or they like didn't wanna, but I would have to imagine it was because he bet on himself. I'm sure he was pretty good last year, and I'm pretty sure Charlotte will fall over themselves to keep everybody they possibly could. So I bet if I had to guess, I bet he was like, nah, LaMelo's gonna be throwing me oops. I'm gonna score a lot of points this year.
I love the bet on the self storyline. I'm gonna buy that. Speaking of LaMelo throwing him oops, LaMelo and Miles Bridges, 2 and 6 in the rankings. The Charlotte Hornets, really fun to watch. I can't even be mad. That team is
enjoyable. Run all over the place. It's very interesting. And like to kind of transition the other way, like the real life basketball I have found to be quite entertaining this year, for reasons that have impacted some of our top tier fantasy players, especially perimeter guys. And I think it's the fewer foul calls. I think that the game is a little more fluid when it doesn't stop every other possession. Like I was watching the Hawks and Warriors last night, and it was just up and down, back and forth. Like Trey hits a jumper, Curry hits a 3. Trey drives to the rim, Curry hits another 3. Trey throws it up to Capella, Curry hits another three. And it would like went on like this forever and ever until they got so tired that someone took an intentional foul so they could stop the game for a minute.
I really hadn't considered this concept. This is a great take. And it's true. Like the teams that are sort of overperforming are all pacey, young, like
Springy.
Running hard teams because they're taking advantage of the increase, like the decrease in stoppages. That's a great take. This is like that's like an A+, like all-time Nat take. I love it.
I'll take it.
Love it. Even the Bulls.
I got something in my sleep deprived state. Well, yeah, I mean, like an up and down game 100% benefits Lonzo and Levine. Like those are guys who like to run all day long.
And it's actually also their second line is all just energy guys. It's like Don Sumo and Derek Jones Jr. and Javante and Caruso. Just all these guys that all they're doing on that court is running and jumping really far and really fast and hustling. And so they've so like 3 or 4 games already this season. They make huge third, fourth quarter runs. And I think I hadn't thought about this non-stoppages, but yeah, they're probably tiring teams out. I like this.
There's also been an increase in the Euro foul, which is like the foul the guy at half court on a semi break when there's a guy in front or to stop some kind of fast break. There's been a huge increase of those. And like one person I was reading said it's precisely because of the fact that they're not calling regular fouls, so you're getting 2, 3, 4 minutes of game time with no stoppages. And they're tired, or like they need to make a sub, and it's like fucking up their rotation.
I love this. I am gonna pay way more attention to this because this is totally this like it's snapping my brain mental model into place, and I love it.
Here's another factor about this that you should take in mind: the games are getting shorter.
Yes. Oh, they're so quick. They're so quick. I love it.
They're going 2 hours, 15, 20 maybe, as opposed to 230, 240. It's definitely sped. Game's definitely a little faster right now.
I've definitely noticed that watching the Bulls, for sure, because I've actually been watching a lot of Bulls games. Like, oh man, like they're moving. Like they're wasting no time. Like I usually like book, an hour and a half. Hour 15 minutes mentally a half. It's like nowhere close to that. I'm loving it. And like they just played the Nets last night, put up another 42-point fourth quarter to the Nets 15. Like they've done it like 2 times where they've totally blanked a team in the fourth quarter. I love these Bulls.
I mean, if you're running all game long and these are like more intense, faster games, the teams with depth and like spring are definitely gonna be advantaged.
We will definitely
slower, older ISO half-courty teams are going to be disadvantaged.
What a great segue to talk about the fact that the inverse of all of these good things is there's a whole lot of people doing real bad this season,
and they all have a couple things in common.
Yes, so I will read you some wonderful statistics. There's some on the screen, but folks that usually traditional good people not doing good. All right. So Joel Embiid, big rank. He's down in 50, which is actually for our league real low, especially.
I believe league leader in free throws attempted last season.
Yep.
I think.
Jason Tatum, he was preseason 7. He's down to 59. Luka Doncic, I think number 2 pick in our draft. And third ranked, 77.
League ranked him in the 30s.
Yeah, 77. Bradley Beal, 11 to 55. And then really, I think the darling of this example, poor Dame Lillard. 6 to 106. Dame having a rough start to the season.
Yeah, he's in quite the slump. But it's actually like not totally killing the team, which is surprising.
They're starting to figure it out. The last couple of games have been better.
Like they're doing some things. Like they've definitely lost a couple games that they should have won if he was even like remotely good. But they've won some games where he was really bad and you wouldn't expect them to win. And he's still doing it.
I think this Pacers game is a perfect example. Just to call it, they won He took no free throws and scored 4 points in 38 minutes.
Yeah.
That
All
is
right.
bad.
So last season, free throws leaders. Number 1, Joel Embiid. Attempted. Giannis, who has been good, but where is he ranked?
Giannis is 14th. He's a little low, but I mean, he's doing Giannis stuff. Like he's
Zion, who hasn't stepped on the court, and God knows what's going on with him. Trey, how's Trey?
Trey's 36th. So he's probably where he is for our league, I would say.
Yeah.
Trey's probably performing at pace for what we'd expect for our league. But
so then you got Beal 6, Lillard 8, De'Aaron Fox 10, Luka Doncic 11. These are some of your leading. So these are all leading free throw shooters and guys who get bumped a lot on the perimeter in general, like because they use a ton of pick and rolls. Like their style is seeing a lot of defenders at one time, and now they're like the not calling the jump shot creator contact is one thing, but it seems like on the initial move you could put more hands on people than you used to be able to, and that really hurts a guy like Dame or De'Aaron Fox, who are smaller, faster people who, if you put hands on them, it's going to slow them down because they're not big.
Mm-hmm.
And Doncic isn't a straight line drive guy. He's like a shifty guy, so it shouldn't really impact him. His problem is just he can't make any shots at all.
I think what's happening, like Fox is down at 152. Like that's real poor for us. But I think it's driving a higher turnover rate for some of those guys. I think that's part, like,
right, getting hit, losing the ball.
Or they're missing more shots, like their percentages are a lot lower because these are some abysmal shooting percentages for Fox because they're taking those crappy shots that they would usually get on fouls and they're not getting the calls, and so they're just knocking their percentages down.
Yeah, Dame's not getting his like guy runs into me while I'm pulling up for a 3 call that he gets a lot, and his 3-point percentage dies as a result.
Ooh, yeah, like I mean, he's shooting under 40% most nights of the week, and that's not him, right? Like that's wrecking
not
him.
what you want. But to his credit, he's doing other things. He's passing the ball well and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, what's going on here? It really doesn't. Those all reductions are fine and good. They'll probably figure it out for the season. It's still not as bad as my 3rd round pick, Michael Porter Jr.
Oh man.
Pre-ranked 19 in like the Yahoo rankings. He was somewhere in the 20s or 30s for us. It was a reach. He's down at 193. So I'm real happy overall with my draft, obviously.
Built for the long haul.
We're built for the long haul. Right now we're built for the hospital. That is
built for the lottery.
That is currently where I am built for. I have 5-6 guys on IL.
Oh my God, you like don't even have any bench spots left.
No, I've lost them all because I picked up 2 guys off the waivers last week who immediately went into protocol.
Jeez.
Ayton went on the IL today.
What's wrong with him?
Leg contusion. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's good. Porter Jr. is like out for the foreseeable future with a back problem. That's
Which,
good.
Of course, the reason he missed that first season was because he had multiple back surgeries. So that's not what you want to hear.
Not what you want. This is all good.
At the time when you picked him, I think I immediately was like, "What are you doing? Why did you pick him?"
It wasn't the best. Well, I'll just.
It just wasn't you. Like, it's just that you're not true. Be true to yourself, man.
It's that's one for the kids. Be true to yourself.
Yeah, Porter Jr. is not a T-Zax system guy.
It's not.
He's not a T-Zax man.
It's true. I have nothing. I have no other things to say on that. It was wrong. It was bad. I will repent for that. The last fun thing I think to bring up, the rookies. There's a bit of a roulette wheel on the rookies. But it's pretty stark. So Mobley just wrecking stuff on Cleveland. Another spunky fun team. He's up at 25, which is amazing.
Looking good for my rookie of the year bet with Michael.
Him and Barnes. And Barnes is at 54. I think probably Barnes seems to be doing better in real life basketball. versus his fantasy production. He's at 54 in the fantasy production, but it seems to be the more odds-on
He's definitely
favorite.
They basically have another OG with him. Like,
Yeah.
to have one of those guys is great, and to have multiple of them. I don't know what they do like in the long term in real life basketball. They have so many like power forwards. It's ridiculous. Like, can you just play 4 power forwards and Van Vliet together? Because like that, it's kind of what they're doing.
Well, Trent Jr.'s starting. He's playing.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like 3 power forwards and 2 Van Vliets.
Yes.
Because they're about
Trent ever passed the ball to anyone ever, that man does not like to pass the basketball. He shoots it or he turns it over. Like, I'm curious what his like usage percentage is, because like he uses every possession he gets.
He's actually, I mean, I just picked him up actually this week because somehow he was still sitting on the waivers. I mean, he's shooting actually real well this season, and also stealing the ball like constantly.
Threes and steals, that's definitely his thing.
Yeah.
I would call him a 3-and-D guy, but he's like, he gets steals because he's like wildly over aggressive, and so he'll commit a ton of fouls and get out of position all the time, but he will make some good steals. I'm happy with swapping him for Norm though, as a Blazer fan. That turned out, I like Norm.
Yeah, for real life basketball, I think Norm was also a better fit for the team. Like, you get Trent couldn't start, Norm can start. That's a fine update. Yeah, but like, I just want to show you my next, because it's just sort of funny. My Monday starting situation, because I've had to go back to the waiver wire again. So I got Shake Milton and Will Barton. Will Barton's actually a good pickup for me because he's basically handcuffing
Porter
for
Jr.
MPJ.
Handcuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting slim pickings over in the TZAC camp. So it's we'll see. This is gonna go well this season. Maybe I'll just convert to a points and assist team at some point.
Oh man, it never goes how you want it to. No. But yeah, as you were saying with the rookies, a lot of good relevant fantasy rookies this year. I've got Josh Giddey. I'm Giddey for Giddey.
Is good.
And he's gonna get some triple doubles this year, because he's like 12, 8, and 6 every game, and he's definitely gonna get some triple doubles. So I'm excited about that. Barnes is really good. I don't know about Suggs. Seems like every time I look at his stats, he's always like 4 for 12.
Yes, Suggs is not producing at the same level for sure.
I think he's in the same spot as Green, where he's been put in a position where he needs to like go get buckets at a high NBA level. And that's pretty hard to do right away. Like, all the other guys who are doing really well are doing like other things. Like, Mobley is awesome on defense. He can just spot up and shoot the 3. He's a good rebounder, shot blocker. They're playing him at power forward, and he's just posting people up because everyone who's guarding him is 6'6", because that's what all power forwards are now. And Giddey is like a stat sheet filler. Like, he's basically become their point guard. It's a lot of guys doing a lot of different things, but the guys who are just like, I am a pure scorer, I am going to destroy you, Suggs and Green are probably the top 2 in that regard, and they're going to do better. It's just going to take them time to figure out the NBA defenses, because they're much more complicated and athletic than college defenses, obviously.
Yeah, and like Green, I've watched a couple of their games. Green is clearly one of those guys to me that's just needs a year. Like, he's a little slight. He's not a bulky guy. He needs some muscle. He needs to grow. Like, he needs to like literally become older as a human.
Just put him in the weight room all year and let him work.
Yeah, like, because like you can see he's got the talent of the raw skills, but he doesn't know the space. He's getting roughed up a little bit, and he's just like, not taking chances because he's, I think, scared of those. It's like he's like, you need to redshirt him for a season. He's gonna learn, but you can tell he's gonna be good. Like, because he's also a bigger guy.
He's tall. Like,
yeah, he's got the height compared to some of those other, like a Trae Young or something like that came out just burning fire. So he'll develop well this season. I don't know if he's going to be like super great, but I
think he'll be pretty good around the turn of the year.
That's probably fair.
I think you should trade him to me now for nothing.
I'm gonna have to drop him at some point because he's useless on my roster, and I got
I'll take him off your hands.
Dead weight. What are you gonna give me? You can trade me for him.
We'll take this one offline.
Yeah,
because I have ideas.
Good. I will entertain any trade offers that you would like to give me at the moment. That is week 4. A big mess really moral story right now
for us
with 12% of the season done.
Not for some others.
That's true.
Others are very happy with this season so far.
We need to get Amy and maybe Mail on the show because there was a code drafting arrangement that we should talk about there.
Yeah, I want to hear more about the Miles Bridges homer pick.
Yeah, I want to know
person
whose
with
list.
Michigan. She's got the Michigan State background in her blood and just picked the Michigan State man, which I did that last year with Boucher and his Oregon player, and he turned into a top 10 player in our league. So I can't hate on it at all. I don't grudge the college homer pick in any way. For it.
If it's in the 12th round, there ain't nothing worse, no worse option than that. So like
that's when you take swings.
Good on it. Yeah. So we'll get there. 4 more weeks, we'll be back. We'll see if I have my team names the same. I would give myself I'd give myself less than even odds on that. So I'm not hoping for anything positive coming here. So we'll see.
We're gonna get you like an actual dunce cap if that happens. I think.
My lovely and adoring crafty wife could easily craft a dunce cap for me.
In probably no several minutes.
Yes. Very few minutes would be required for that. So we can consider that option as well. The dunce cap for the dunce cap boys. I'm out of ideas here to discuss. Do you have anything?
Nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
Do you have any parting comments before you go back to lovely screaming children?
No, other than with the wackiness of this season, there's going to be a lot of wacky stat lines. And I had a couple on my team just this week. I had Rubio in his how many threes?
Like 8 or 9 career.
He's like a 28% shooter for his career. Also 10 assists in that game. I picked him up earlier that day because Sexton got hurt. And so I picked him up as like a handcuff essentially. So he's in my lineup this week. The other one was Christian Wood, who is being really weird this season because he's killing it, but he is like going like 1 for 6 at the free throw line every night. And then he had a game, which is not something you see out of like a big scorer very often. He had 4 points, 1 rebound, 4 steals, and this is a guy who averages 20 a game, but 4 points and 4 steals. What a weird line from a big man who is like a scorer rebounder.
Yeah, that's like a Dorian Finney-Smith line.
Yeah.
It's not a Christian Wood. We didn't mention we talked about it before the show, but Steph Curry, talking about wacky lines, rebounding machine, and I did the math. Steph Curry has out rebounded everybody on my team except Clint Capella.
Woof. Another harbinger of bad for you.
The dunce cap is coming. The dunce cap is coming.
When the 6'3" guy who barely jumps is out rebounding all your 7-footers. It's not good.
I think that's as good a place as any to leave it. Glad to have you back. Hope things go well, and I hope maybe the season gets better, but I don't know.
We'll see.